Good morning, all. How are you? Hope everyone is fine. Welcome to our English class. In last class, we discussed about adjectives. Then, can you anyone tell what is an adjective? Yes, an adjective is a word to describe a noun or nouns in a sentence. Okay? And also, we have discussed about different types of adjectives. Today, let's learn about degrees of comparison. Then, what are degrees of comparison? Yes, when adjectives change in form to show comparison, they are called degrees of comparison. And they are classified into positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. So, in order to show comparison, in order to make changes in the form of adjectives to show comparison, it is called degrees of comparison. Three degrees are there: positive, comparative, and superlative. Now let's discuss each type. Okay? The positive degree of an adjective is the simple form of an adjective. It is the simple form of an adjective. For example, he is a tall boy. He is a tall boy. In this sentence, tall is the adjective. It is in positive degree. It is the simple form of an adjective. Positive degree of an adjective is used when two things are compared. Okay, when two things are compared, we can use the comparative degree of an adjective. For example, Sam is taller than his father. In this sentence, taller is the comparative degree of an adjective. It is the comparative degree of the adjective tall. Okay, Sam is taller than his father. Here in this sentence, Sam's height is compared to his father's height. So, it is used to compare. The superlative degree is the highest degree of the quality. It is used to show the highest form of an adjective. For example, Tom is the tallest boy in the class. Tom is the tallest boy in the class. In this sentence, tallest is the superlative degree of comparison. It is used to show that, or it is used to show Tom's height is being compared to everyone's height in the class. So, Tom's height is being compared to everyone's height in the class. More than two things are compared here. In such cases, we can use superlative degree of comparison. We can form the comparative degree by adding er to the positive degree. For example, sweet, sweeter, kind, kinder, great, greater. We can form the superlative degree of an adjective by adding est to the positive degree. For example, kind, kinder, kindest. In this, kind is the positive form, kinder is the comparative form, and kindest. We have added est to the positive form, that is kindest. It is superlative degree. Then sweet, sweeter, sweetest, great, greater, greatest. Now look at these examples. First one, Alexander was one of the greatest kings who ever lived. From this, we can understand that in this sentence, the superlative degree of the adjective is used, that is the greatest, the greatest. Okay. Then Chennai is hotter than Mumbai. In this sentence, two places, two things are being compared, that is Chennai and Mumbai, and the comparative degree of the adjective is hotter, hotter. Okay. Very few cities in Asia are as big as Hong Kong. In this sentence, the positive degree of the adjective is used, that is big. Okay, it is the symbol form of the adjective, that is positive degree. An airplane flies faster than birds. Here, airplane and birds are being compared, and the comparative degree is used, that is faster. Then, this cathedral is the biggest in South India, and the biggest. Here, the superlative degree of the adjective is used, that is the biggest. Okay, very few countries are as big, as rich as America. Here, the positive degree of the adjective is used, that is rich. It is the symbol form of adjective, and it is in positive form. Okay. Relative clauses are clauses starting with relative pronouns who, that, which, whose, were, and when. They are most often used to define or identify the nouns that precedes them. Okay, so the relative clauses are starting with the relative pronouns like who, that, which, whose, were, and when. Okay, and it is used to identify or define the nouns that precedes in the sentence. Some examples for relative clauses are here. Do you know the girl who started in grade 7 last week? In this sentence, the relative clause is starting with the who. If you are asked to find out the relative clause in a sentence, how can you find it out? Yes, normally the relative clauses are starting with the relative pronouns. So in this sentence, the relative pronoun is who. So, who started in grade 7 last week is the relative clause in this sentence. Then, can I have the pencil that I gave you this morning? In this sentence, the relative clause is that I gave you this morning. It is starting with the relative pronoun that. A notebook is a computer which can be carried around. In this sentence, the relative clause is starting with the relative pronoun which. Then the relative clause is which can be carried around. I won't eat in a restaurant whose cooks smoke. In this sentence, the relative clause is whose cooks smoke. It is starting with the relative pronoun whose. I want to live in a place where there is lots to do. In this sentence, the relative clause is starting with where. Where there is lots to do is the relative clause in this sentence. Then in last sentence, can you anyone tell which is the relative clause? Yes. Yesterday was a day when everything went wrong. In this sentence, the relative clause is when everything went wrong. In this sentence, the relative clause is starting with the relative pronoun when. Okay. The relative pronoun whose is used in place of a possessive pronoun, and it must be followed by a noun. For example, there is a boy in grade 8 whose father is a professional tennis player. There is a boy in grade 8 and his father is a professional tennis player. So in this sentence, we can see whose is followed by a noun. It is compulsory after whose, after this relative pronoun whose, we must use a noun. In this sentence, we have used father. Father is a noun. After whose, we have used the noun father. Okay. The relative pronouns when and where are used with time and place. The first sentence is about place and the second one is about time. Some relative clauses are not used to define the preceding noun but to give extra information about it. Okay, here are some examples. And in such cases, if the relative clause is giving extra information, then we have to separate it off by commas. Okay, it is compulsory to use commas. It must be separated off by commas if the relative clause is giving an extra information, not defining the preceding noun, but it gives extra information about the noun. We have to use commas. Take the first example. My ESL teacher, who came to Germany in 1986, likes to ride his mountain bike. So, here the relative clause is giving extra information about the ESL teacher. My ESL teacher, then it is about giving extra information about that noun, the noun teacher, who came to Germany in 1986. So, in this sentence, the relative clause is giving extra information about the noun, and you can see it is separated off by commas. Okay, and the relative clause is starting with the relative pronoun who. The heavy rain, which was unusual for the time of year, destroyed most of the plants in my garden. So, in this sentence, can you tell which is the relative clause? Yes, the relative clause is which was unusual for the time of year. And this relative clause is separated by commas because it gives extra information about the noun. The heavy rain is the noun, and the next part is the relative clause, and it gives extra information about the heavy rain, the noun. Okay. Einstein, who was born in Germany, is famous for his theory of relativity. So, Einstein is the noun, and next it comes the relative clause, and it gives extra information about the noun Einstein, who was born in Germany, and you can see commas there. The boy, whose parents both work as teachers at the school, started a fire in the classroom. So, here in this sentence, the relative clause is starting with the whose. The relative clause is whose parents both work as teachers at the school. That is the relative clause, and it is separated by commas, and it gives extra information about the noun, the boy. Okay. The mother's company, which makes mobile phones, is moving soon from Frankfurt to London. Yes, which is the relative clause in this sentence? Yes, which makes mobile phones. And it gives extra information about my mother's company. That is the noun. So the relative clause is giving extra information about the noun. And how can we understand that it gives extra information? Yes, it is separated with commas. In this summer, I'm going to visit Italy, where my brother lives. So, in this sentence, where my brother lives is the relative clause, and it gives extra information about the noun Italy. Okay, so it is separated with the comma. The relative pronoun that can't be used to give extra information in a sentence, you must note it down. And today we discussed degrees of comparison and relative clauses. Hope it is clear. Go through the video carefully and prepare notes. Thank you.